welcome to the Darkened Hour, guys. This is your host, Joshua X. Nelhart, and with me, it's the same people every day. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go to the magnificent. You guys, I love you guys. But anyway, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being with us. By the way,
can I say my name at least? Can we say our names at least?
I was getting to that. I was getting to that.
Finish your opening.
I was trying to,
because I'm used to the magnificence and all the Skittles. That
you guys expect that. And 2 weeks ago when I didn't hit you with that curveball, you got thrown off a little bit. So
I mean, can we not talk about last time's curveball when I was supposed to do a closing and I didn't know how to end it?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, thank you for showing up. This is Darkened Hour. We talk about all things comic books, movies, and everything in between, geek culture. With me, of course,
T. LaBeouf.
And I am known as Valentin as Alcula nella Zivasizerabo Heres. Gambico Bella, Blue Stradivari, Talentrent Pierre, Andre Charlton, Hamos, Da Vinci, Baldios, Joyce, Joetzel, Kaiser III. Don't hesitate to call.
If you had one moment, one chance. I feel like she's just rapping and stuff. What's going on?
I got one chance.
And we have here Count Drogo.
Count
Drogo.
He does look vampire-ish.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna go with that.
Yeah. Count Drogo. I'm down for that.
Actually. Yeah, I actually really like that one.
All right, guys. Well, we'll get straight to the spill because I know I usually talk about how was your week and whatnot.
Well, our week would be good
great
considering
because
we didn't do a Halloween show.
Yes,
and that's like our favorite holiday. We kind of missed out on that, so we could drop a little bit on that on what we did because what we did was we went to the Fortress of Solitude.
And what I did, I went to
tell us more about what you did.
Yeah,
you had way more fun than I did.
No. I was a good boy.
Oh no, you
went to New York and just celebrated Halloween. We celebrated on the 28th, Saturday before Tuesday, because of course we work and whatnot. So I went to New York, had some beers, had some alcohol, and didn't make it back until the next day. But it was good. It was good.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, please tell us how was Fortress of Solitude, and before you guys do, please let the viewers know what is the Fortress of Solitude. We're not talking about Superman's Fortress of Solitude.
We're passing the mic.
I'm letting you do something because you go on the corner. Let's use it because we both went there.
So. I mean, you were the one dressed up, and I did the photography.
That's why, because you saw better than I did. I couldn't see. Remember, I had the goggles on.
Well, anyways, Fortress of Solitude is a comic book shop over there in Newark, New Jersey, also located in 53 University Avenue. Name is Jose. Go follow him. Go get your comics. Awesome place.
I'm really happy that you remember the address to this place.
Yeah, I do too. I was waiting for you. Like, he's gonna get it right.
I always forget the address. That's why I had him to it.
Boom, boom. Very nice, man. Cool. So wait,
all right. So we
what
went
you guys
there.
do? Yeah.
We nerded over some stuff as usual. We saw some exclusive stuff that we didn't see elsewhere, as per usual. Is why I go there. I avoided spending a lot of money, which is new for me. This is the first time I spent under $60. He loaded up on dark metal pins and buttons or whatever.
Shut up.
He had to go. He went to his stock room and dug through a box of pins to find the ones he didn't have up front.
Yeah.
And we did like a little miniature photo shoot, which I still have to post on a page. I have a lot of me in my Assassin's Creed / steampunk outfit that I was dressed up in, and it was good times. We wish more heads showed up though. I posted a bunch of times, and when people said they would go, they didn't show up. It kind of sucked, but for the most part, we enjoyed ourselves.
That's good. All right, cool. I think the Saturday one. Did you guys do the Saturday one or did?
No, I only went to Tuesday.
Yeah, I assumed the Saturday would have had a little more heads because it is the weekend. Yeah. So what you do, Tia, at the Fortress?
Well, I didn't go.
Okay.
I didn't go.
She had to work.
I had to work that Tuesday and Saturday. I was just too tired and whatnot for my work week. And what I did on my Saturday, I just binged horror films heavy. I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched Saw, Hostel, Sleepy Hollow. Which I wish we would have brought up on our horror films.
I forgot about because I was weirdly enough I was watching it on Netflix before October even hit.
My jam, Sleepy Hollow is still my jam to this day. That's one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies.
Ironically, the wedding that I went to after Comic-Con, remember I went to a wedding after Comic-Con, was in Sleepy Hollow.
Get out of here!
In New York. So
I really forget it's an actual thing.
It's an actual place.
But that was really awesome. I was very secluded. I'm very much wrapped in my blanket. Watching horror films.
The best time as best Halloween, you ask me, man.
I was good. Had a good Saturday.
Please tell me anyone here had candy.
I work at a store that sells candy.
True.
But did you have candy?
I did.
Of course, but me, I don't really eat candy,
Yeah.
I don't really eat candy. There are two things I eat more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's not go.
Oh, my God.
I knew. Oh man, it took me like a second later than I was supposed to.
I
get
really
it, but
gave you
got
the
it.
meanest side. I was like, oh, he's gonna better not. I was like,
All right, guys. All right. So how about you were there?
He was
You were
with
the
me,
Fortress
yeah, we were
Solitude.
the-
Of
Okay.
course, I played as a professional photographer. Playing.
Oh, did you?
How
Yeah,
was it?
that was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah,
Right.
if you see my profile picture, he took pictures.
Oh my
I
goodness.
took all those pictures.
You're gonna make me cry here.
You want me to take your pictures too?
Please.
All right, cool.
Okay. So
Only
so,
if you're dressed up as Pootie Tang.
Sure, we'll figure later on about that. Okay, so Thor. This is the topic of discussion. Is
Okay.
Thor. I saw it today, not too long ago.
Nice.
And I was with you.
Yeah, you were with me, as usually as we always do.
Or not planned. We
not
just
always
see
planned.
each other.
It's just we know.
It's just
The
those
best
random
time to
times.
watch something is before the show. Right before the show.
Right before this show is the
Yeah.
best time.
yeah, it is.
I usually watch it twice before the show, but I mean it's okay. You know, hero fatigue.
We're sick
want
of
to
it.
watch it once, and that's something I want to talk about again. I know I guess there's a running gag on this is the hero fatigue again. You know, but
Yeah.
I was watching this show, and I kid you not, if it wasn't for the comedy in this movie, I wouldn't care about this. I wouldn't care about this movie.
Yo, for real.
But I cannot refuse the fact that Fenrir looks so good.
Fenrir, yes, Finny.
Yeah. Hela, by all you heard me when it came to Hela all the time.
Yo.
She's so sexy.
Slay.
Yeah, you were a gut did shooter. I was talking about she's sexy, but you were you were at the edge of your seat.
You.
Let me tell you. But anyway, so I want to say Batarangs, but we're not even there yet.
We're not. We have
We're not
to
there
How many
yet.
dig
Yum
into
Yum,
it.
Like,
And I know-
Mjolnirs? How many hammers?
how many hammers?
and I know for a fact that here, Rasan, you are really huge on Norse mythology. So
Yeah.
please, let us know. What do you think? What do you thought of the movie? What were your
I-
quirks? What were your pros and cons?
Story wise, I don't like the story.
Of course not, because
Yo,
it's not
for
going to be
real.
the same. It's going to be little adjustments
Here's
here
the
and
thing
there.
why I didn't like the story is because I feel they tried too hard to touch. They did a Ghost in the Shell. There's multiple sources. Let's squeeze it into one movie storyline.
Of course.
Hela has been, from what I've always known her, she's always been her own entity, and she had to die and be resurrected as Loki's daughter.
Right.
Her being Thor's sister kind of kills a lot of what Hela's goal was, because her biggest thing is her getting, because she collects souls. She's pretty much Hades of Norse mythology. You know, souls come to me. Souls are my power.
Yeah.
She wants Odin's soul and she wants Thor's soul. Her being family already means she doesn't need their souls. She doesn't need to be a goddess of death if you have no reason for them being dead. Hence her killing all the
here in
soldiers.
this story, she is one of the thrones.
She just wanted the throne.
Right.
It
Which
was like
makes sense.
It was like Game of Thronesy, but not in a good way. I'm the heir, and I
It's
want
like
the throne.
Game of Thronesy in one little movie.
Yeah,
Game
Pretty
of Thrones.
much.
and
but not nearly having the content behind the
Right.
power of the throne.
Right.
Why are you ruling if you have nothing to rule over?
Right.
You know, she was being the Peter Baelish. You know, he would see this kingdom. He would see this, like Varys said. He's like, he would see this land burn if he could be king of the ashes. But who wants to be the king of ashes? Who wants to sit on the throne of the dead when your dead means nothing? You know, we saw her resurrect Fenrir, and that was a thing that made sense. Like, okay, you brought Fenrir back, and you loved. Oh, this is your puppy. That was it. You brought back stone soldiers practically. So what was the resurrection mean? So if you're the goddess of death, what does your dead do for you?
Right.
Okay.
And more annoyingly, since we did mention Fenrir, the thing that I don't like that she had the bond to Fenrir is wrong as hell, because Fenrir is Loki's son.
Right.
It's like Fenrir is Loki's son because Loki has a bunch of children. Sleipnir the horse, Fenrir the wolf, and we have Jormungandr the serpent. If this is Ragnarok, why was there no Jormungandr?
Right. Urus Burus.
Okay. All right.
This is Ragnarok. We know Heimdall is missing, but where's the Balder?
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. So me having my knowledge of Norse mythology, like, you're missing key point characters who matter. Now, the biggest problem is they combined Planet Hulk
Yes.
with
Yes.
Unworthy Thor, which
Yes.
I like, but they made it a Ragnarok movie. So you had three different, total different stories in one mesh, while making Hela Thor's sister. So it's pretty much paying homage to Angela, who was actually Thor's sister, because this is supposed to link into Guardians of the Galaxy. Because
Which,
Angela
disclaimer,
is,
Angela
Yeah.
started off as in Spawn, by the way. She
Yup.
was a creation of Neil Gaiman, who was also the creation of Sandman.
So yeah, ultimately, I did enjoy the movie, but as the story goes, it was spitting on what the comic books has made and what actual Norse mythology had.
Okay.
It's it's its own separate universe. It's the Marvel universe, the movie cinematic area.
I mean, it's coming from a source material at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah, they went so far off the hinges. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit back here and enjoy the movie for what it is.
Right.
Yep.
Because that's why a lot of the ratings were like kind of like a little bit above average. Because it still overall was an entertaining movie, but like it's Ragnarok. Why was everything a joke?
Yeah.
Everything was a joke. The true bringer of Ragnarok was crippled in a chair and he's swinging on the chains, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
And then when he finally got there was hope that the Hulk himself could bring him down. Which
I'm okay with that. It just shows the extremity of this, physical being as the Ragnarok, which is fine. It's like, all right, come here, little being, stop. And that was it, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I understand what the whole, he's a crippled thing, making cracking jokes. That I understand.
Funny because Hulk versus if you ever watched the Hulk versus series where he fights Wolverine and he fights Thor, he brought on a whole new Ragnarok.
Oh, I could have.
No, he literally, because Loki mind controlled him and separated Banner from the Hulk, and it was just pure rage. And he was just walking through Azeroth. Oh my goodness, walking through Asgard, just literally just wrecking house to the T. He brought on a whole new because because it was the Odin sleep, so they were protecting the realm from the next coming Ragnarok, which is just the invasion of the 9 realms, or Valkyrie, trolls, everybody. They're going to come together and try and take the throne. So Baldur and Thor, they're holding off everybody pretty easily. Heimdall holding up the throne pretty easily. And then Hulk comes in, and they're like, "Welp," like he is Ragnarok in him on his own.
And that's my biggest quarrel here. Like, yeah, Hulk is extremely powerful. We understand, but at the end of the day, he is still a product of science.
Yep.
And no matter who you are, you're going against magic. Everything about these gods, everything about deities is magic.
Which I didn't like that we didn't see much magic from Hela or Loki.
Right? Like,
but see, Loki, that was my quarrel since the very beginning of Thor movie. In the very first Thor movie. All we seen was he was another Mystique without being the Mystique physically. It was just like an illusion to get jutsu type of thing. And that's all you got. And none of that, he has a couple of daggers and that's all he did. And this is why are you a god, or are you just somebody trying to be, are you a placeholder? Come on, now you have Thor here who actually becomes Raiden from Mortal Kombat and does his crazy stuff without the hammer. Like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
And then Odin, you don't have to see it. Well, Odin does. You just know he's broken as hell because he has his visions from back in the day and stuff like that. He can hold the hammer. He's broken. He's the death of Supernatural right now. But like, come on. The guy with the sword.
The scythe.
No. Abensur.
Abensur.
Yeah, he's broken because he shows that he's broken like that. He has the sight. Loki. Come on, bro. You need a Infinity Stone to be broken to amplify your father. Yeah. That's not, and which comes back to the whole Hulk thing. Hulk is still a product of science. Yeah. Wolverine can take you down. I'm pretty, to an extent, Captain America can hold you off well. When you go to a different realm that you don't know nothing of, and you can take down gods, magical beings, manifestation of magic itself, and you say you can make an own Ragnarok. Okay, I'm going to rant here because I don't like the Hulk. Hulk, he just gets strong, and I'm going to smash things. That's all he does. But anyway, enough about that. But yeah, Hulk, I'm done.
Hulk, I'm done. I'm done. Despite the fact that he was being, a really likable character in this movie, I didn't like the role he played necessarily, because it's like, this is supposed to be the most serious thing in the Thor universe. And hell, the elves was taken more seriously, and all they were just using green goo. Red goo. It was red juice. That's all it had, red juice power. It's like, why is Ragnarok the death of the All-Father? That's like the death of God. And Jesus is like, I'm going to go to a tournament and make jokes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's essentially what we watch. And I'm like, it was kind of like an insult to what Ragnarok is supposed to be.
It's like an understatement, if you will. Even the imparting of Dormammu and Strange was extremely huge compared to this Ragnarok. One of the biggest things that pretty much can, it threatens all dimensions.
It threatens all existence.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk about Strange soon, because I know Strange is in the movie, and Strange. We needed Strange because he could have come just tap a finger, everything would have been on.
On Loki, hold on, we're not stepping away from it. He's a trickster, so he's all about spells and magic. Hence why, Odin even mentioned, oh yeah, it took me a while to break free of your spells. Frigga would have been proud.
What? Okay.
So, because Frigga's the one who taught him magic, essentially. Yeah. And we don't see him do magic at all.
Right. Nope.
But yet he had he couldn't do anything to Strange. Yeah, Strange is a sorcerer supreme, and he has an Infinity Stone in his necklace, but
he doesn't need it.
He doesn't
don't know it either.
Loki should have been able to have some kind of resistance, or got out of the infinite falling loop and came in that house like, talking trash and giving like a quick, even if he was gonna get completely dookied on by Strange, like it should have been at least a.
You shouldn't even be dookied on Strange. Yeah, you're still a human being, for God's sake. I'm a god.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Anyway, all right. So we'll come back. LaBeouf, please give me the trash.
By the way, I didn't say anything
trash.
good. By the way, despite the fact that I love Thor and I did love this movie, I said nothing but negative things. Disclaimer: I enjoyed.
We're gonna come back around with the positive.
All
you know, give me. If it's like you're holding in, talk to.
I'm just waiting for my opening. That's all. But when I gathered from someone who's not familiar with Thor mythology and whatnot, I approached it just as a film and just its base plot. I had about the jokes every minute. That became tiresome. I'm telling you, if you go scene for scene, there's a running gag or physical humor utilized over and over and over again.
Literally the funniest Marvel
I feel like
ever.
it was geared towards even a younger audience, younger than me. After a while, I felt, you know, I mean, if I was like 14, I would have came here like, whoa, this was amazing. And now that I'm a bit older, and like you said, the Ragnarok is a very serious matter, and that's what I thought this was going to be. I felt like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
Yeah,
that's what I thought I was watching.
Because Guardians of the 2 was extremely,
It
was sentimental.
Dude,
it was,
and it felt cliche at times. I heard people even kind of guessing what Anthony Hopkins was going to say. Oh, you're just stronger than me. Someone literally just mouthed it like, yeah, I kind of figured.
I said that in there.
Same here.
It was writing on cliche a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I think good points you guys brought up with Doctor Strange just being a man. Don't get me wrong; it was entertaining to see him kind of house Loki, but for someone who's not too familiar, I'm like, wait, Loki's a god though, right? Like I'm sitting here just like, why?
You
is
forget.
He even said Loki was a threat.
And
Clearly, he's not.
Yeah,
If you can
exactly.
send him to an infinite fall, why would you want to expel him if it's that easy to mess him up by yourself with no help at all?
Let's just put it this way: Loki died and was resurrected by Thor. While he was still considered dead and he was resurrected as a woman, he had already made a deal with Dormammu, Hela, and Doctor Doom.
Honestly,
Like he's like, this guy is supposed to be the mastermind. Like
what carried this film, in my opinion, is Hela. She
Yeah,
carried
no
it
doubt.
because you know what the problem is. Oh, hey, Brian, I'm sorry.
still has to see it.
Get on
Spoiler alert.
Eric,
Spoiler, like
just
dumb,
letting you
crazy
know,
spoilers
man.
right
yeah,
now.
this is gonna be on the back of a car because it's a spoiler.
Wow.
So I think you know what, for the sake of it, Hela really carries this film because you know the problem with a lot of Marvel films in general. Oh, glad you guys enjoyed it. Yes, we did. We're tearing it apart a little bit, but we did actually enjoy
like
it.
it.
We-
We're
yeah,
just hitting it.
We're getting to the
It's
pros
easy
soon.
to talk about things you
Soon.
like about a Marvel film. It's too easy. I don't want to be like a circle jerk of things that we like because it's super easy to get into that zone. So Hela carried it, but the problem is the use of humor. And I thought this was going to be serious, but then it would be serious for 5 minutes and then get back to the Hulk and being, you know what I mean? It just got really jokey and weird for me because I thought I didn't see any other Thor movies. I came in here fresh, just seeing like, okay, I know enough. Let's go. Like, let's see what this is about. I'm like,
I warned
I thought
you.
Chris Pratt was gonna come in a second. Like I thought he was gonna make a cameo next. I thought, I'm like, what is this? This is so bizarre. This is the end of Asgard, like you said. I'm thinking, oh, this is about to get real. It's about to get heavy. Some apocalyptic stuff going on. And you got this guy throwing a ball at a window and it bounces back and hits his face.
Can I just throw a
That was so
a sidebar because
jarring.
something. Here's the worst thing about this movie.
Oh.
All right, no problem, Brian. See you, man.
I'm out of here. Hey, I'll watch it later with Thor. Bye, guys.
Yeah, no
All right,
problem,
thanks
man.
for
Cool.
chiming in.
The worst thing about this movie, and you just said it, you don't need to watch the other two movies to know what's happening in this movie.
Maybe that's his weakness.
That's the biggest problem.
Oh.
It didn't take the story serious enough where you needed to see the previous.
right.
Like, if you see, as long as you saw like Avengers, Little Girl, like other movies, you can see and still understand what this movie's about. Maybe a few characters and a few key points, like okay, Loki faked his death in the last movie, but that starts off the movie with seeing him. Oh, he's dead, but then he comes out of the disguise. Oh, I thought you were dead, brother. Oh, so he must have faked his death. You know it. It tells you what happened in the last movie. You don't even know. Oh, what happened to Jane Foster, the girl you were? Oh, we broke up. Okay, so it didn't matter that you guys were in love last movie. Like, they literally it's like they retconned it. It's like who cares about part two?
And it's all about now, right?
Yeah, it's about now. This movie was its own thing, which is why it stands well enough. Why it feels like a Guardians movie because it's like we can just do what the hell we
retro
want.
track
we already
too.
said we didn't care about with Thor 1 and 2, and even I made that joke is where if you watch Thor 1 in his vault of massive treasures and iconic items, we see the Infinity Gauntlet with all the Infinity Stones, and for years I mentioned that's they messed up. Marvel messed up. That's not supposed to be there. You know, Thanos has the gauntlet. We saw him. I'll do it myself, and he puts like. So I'm like, how's that in the vault? Yeah. And a lot of other people pointed that out. So then when Hela goes into the vault, and she's like, fake, and like she just pushes the glove.
Crying. That was pretty funny.
I was just like, fake, and then she goes up to the she walks by the Tesseract, which is an Infinity.
No, that's pretty good.
That's interesting.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty good.
And then when she said that, that's where I'm like, yes, this is the real Hela. Because as long as you're a living being, I can still use you.
Yep.
You know, hence Thanos, he fell in love with Death herself. So Death and Hela go hand in hand. Death delivers to Hela. Hela gets more power from what Death delivers. Right. So she can see a Tesseract and not care. It's a weapon that can be used for destruction. That's more souls for me.
I am destruction.
But yet, this Hela used no souls. I killed all these. She killed the Warriors 3. Warriors 3. She should have picked them up. She should have been a Black Lantern. Picked them up. Now I have some elite warriors.
Exactly.
She's using the janitor. No. You are the goddess of death. You killed them, now pick them up as zombies and they serve you. Right. That's what she was supposed to do. She should have been like they did in... Come on, even the video game got it right. When Sigma Ultron takes over Asgard and he corrupts all the Asgardian soldiers. That's what Hela is supposed to do. How you wipe out an entire nation but don't pick them up as your slaves?
Right.
Can we talk about how she does this?
That is sexy as hell.
The headdress comes out.
Can we not talk?
We'll gush later. We're ripping right now.
I had to talk about something good.
Can we not?
So bad tearing this movie apart.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously. Oh my god.
Okay.
That was everything.
Yo,
really
all the time.
I lived for her transition. I was like, yep.
I loved her poses though. Even when she sat down on the throne, she had the pose.
She had that like
you know she was God.
She won up Joffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She won up Joffrey, and Joffrey has like the coolest sit in a chair gestures ever.
Was it
this like, aloof kind of like.
But he did that because the chair is that uncomfortable.
Right.
Like when they asked him why did he, because that's not part of the character. He literally said like that because that was the only way he could sit comfortable in it. And like after like a few takes of them shooting it, they questioned him. He's like, "Oh no, I'm just making it comfortable." Well, no, keep doing that. Like they made like, "No, keep doing that."
It makes you look snobby.
It makes you look like an asshole.
Boy, someone's calling. Is that Jabbar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mr. Alfjord. Hey,
boy.
But so yeah,
Oh yeah, so that was its utter weakness is that it relied so heavy.
On the
It was so heavy-handed. Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining, but it felt dissonant after a while. Like we got the end of Asgard, and then we have this very serious scene with the Valkyrie, where they show her like past. Her past and everything. I'm like, oh, this is heavy. Oof. Okay, let's get to the real. Gloss over it. I'm like, okay. And it really explained why she felt so. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a very traumatic thing to be the survivor's guilt. Yeah. Explore that a little bit. There was time in this movie to explore that. This was a fast movie. It's an hour and 30 minutes on the dime.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Right. 2 hours and 13
This felt
minutes.
fast. This movie felt super fast. I felt like they just ran through. They ran through everything, and I'm like, this was a very interesting background. And I knew they had to do it for the sake of the story that she joins teams up with them, but I really want to feel like, you spent all this time running away.
I'll tell you where they messed up.
We
saw the Warriors 3. We're missing a Valkyrie, a very specific Valkyrie.
Right.
We're Sif. Thor's true love interest.
Yup.
Oh.
There was no Sif in this entire movie.
Exactly.
So they just...
Because Sif was in Thor 2. We saw Sif deliver an Infinity Stone.
Oh, I think I know who that is.
Yeah,
is it the...
It's the chick dressed up in all armor.
Right, okay. I've seen her before. What an odd thing to not continue.
She's completely missing, and she was a Valkyrie, and...
That would have been an easy...
She's missing.
You want to talk about real fight? Her and Hela.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this girl could not even light a candle to Hela. Hela really... They had to find someone else to fight him. Like, there was none of them.
For real.
They had to find someone else to get him. She was broken, and I want to see more of her, and I probably won't.
But she's supposed to be broken because of her soul thing. But as we saw how she died, she just burst into green smoke.
Is she really dead?
No.
I mean, that's not really a death in my opinion.
It did not happen on camera, on screen.
Yeah, exactly. We just saw the sword stab when she poofed.
Yeah, that's it.
And she seems like she has interdimensional power.
I mean,
so...
I mean, hell, and even greater than that, Fenrir didn't die. Fenrir fell off the edge of the world.
First of all, Suplex City.
Suplex City. Bork Laser.
Thank you.
You said the same thing.
You
said Suplex City, and I said Bork Laser.
Bork lesbian. But yeah. All right.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
A part that I don't care for, and I know it's like really petty of me, but I hate the fact that like Black Widow shows up with the sun's leading low and
the recording.
I get so tired of that.
Can we not?
I hate that her character literally exists to calm down the Hulk at this point. That's her entire character arc.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go
so
as
annoying.
I wouldn't go as far as her character only
That's
exists
it.
for
She's
that.
such support.
Because mind you, it took them
boring.
like almost a good 5 movies for her to get to that part.
True.
You know, and the entire time beforehand, she was a force to be reckoned with.
The only thing I don't like.
What I don't like is the
relationship.
It was using her for that, and there was no build up to it. That's what pisses me
It just
off.
kind of came out of nowhere. They're building.
Right.
Forcing that romantic interest. They don't know what else to do with her character, but romantic interest. Well, one girl in the group just gotta be with somebody. She's gotta be in a relationship with someone, and it has to be the Hulk of all people.
Big green mean
smash.
machine.
Yikes!
Hulk mashed potatoes.
But let's not go into that. That's way back when.
I really did not see
too.
in this. I did not need to see Hulk's butt. I could have done it on.
I actually like that.
That was funny.
I could have
that
done
was
seen
funny.
his butt cheeks. Bro.
I love Thor's reaction. Well, he's naked.
That's in my brain.
Thor's just like, okay, so now I'm scarred. Like I'm mentally scarred, bro. Put it away. Oh my god,
But,
that was kind of horrifying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Count Drogo.
Oh man.
Count Drogo.
We're really
That's
rolling with
actually
that.
really
That's
cool.
whatever. I go with it.
New handle.
My thing is really that I'm a big fan of the Unworthy Thor, and I really love the fact that they tried to show him off, but it was too early. Way too early for that. Way too early. Because I was over here thinking, okay, so he's already picked up by a collector. So am I expect to see a dead black arm on him soon?
Where's the axe at too?
Where's he never? But that Thor is a whole different dimension. Thor. This isn't this universe's Thor.
That's it's like
an
Ultimates,
Ultimates.
The actual Almighty Thor died, and his hammer ended up showing up in Unworthy Thor.
They all got erased. If that's the case.
That's what I was expecting. But then this is cinematic universe. They're rushing everything, putting everything together. I think it's too soon. I thought the Planet Hawk was a good count. The only thing I'm really mad about is Meek not having a voice.
Who?
Meek,
the little
knife.
The guy who kept posing with the knives and stuff.
Remember rock, the rock paper scissors joke.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, oh I'm just a guy made of rocks. Unless you're a pair of scissors.
And
then he looks down and ironically it was a scissors guy.
The rock guy had me dying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He was my favorite character also, but that kind of annoyed me because Meek was like one of those sidekicks that he couldn't really do anything, but if you saw the animated series, he was the one that kept the team going.
Yeah,
he was the one that kept the team going, and he saved the team. He lost his arm. That didn't happen, of course, but. Like I said, I really kind of don't like this movie. Like, I being a person who's watched the Thor movies and who's been reading the Thor comics way back, I wanted this to be serious.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Too jokey,
I didn't want Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
For real.
I didn't want Guardian of the Galaxy featured Thor.
Yo, and then the whole style, the aesthetic, like they're trying to mimic that very electro.
Well, because of the tournament world they were on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
to excuse it is because where it took place.
I'll excuse it.
I was like, this is
I'll excuse it, but Unworthy Thor was not the time to show.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that? All right. So and that was a quarrel between DC and Marvel. I'm gonna bring it back home here. Is that DC way too gritty, way too Marthian, way too dark.
Yeah.
And Marvel is like, oh, they're good because they make us laugh. And we like laughter. You make us laugh, we on board. But now I think it's just like
too jokey.
Too jokey all across movies.
Not all movies though. Because hence Guardians 2 was too
It was serious.
But it was still
because they're supposed to be joking.
Exactly my point. And what I was trying to get at
is that that's their thing.
What I'm trying to get at is that,
Thor is a serious character.
Even like now in the Marvel series, they're separating this. We have the funny and go lucky series. We have the horror series that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
We have the serious ones. Jessica Jones, the Iron Fist. We have the different categories of what we want to get.
Absolutely.
Whereas in the movies, it's let's be funny all across the movies. Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's what I feel like they're trying to go for. Which is just making this adds on to the whole hero fatigue thing. We're gonna get the same thing all the way through, and every movie it's not making them individuals. They're not making them distinctive.
I think the hope is gonna be Black Panther because there seems to be
and I'm telling you, when I kept seeing that trailer, I didn't care about anything. All I care about was that. Because I am
legitimately excited.
Black Panther feels like a individual movie. It's gonna be so fresh
and serious.
Yes,
so
it's like
serious.
It's like I watched Deadpool. Deadpool was awesome because it was the first rated R.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this is good. This is Guardians of the Galaxy turned up 100%, which is what we were expecting.
It's Deadpool.
Logan came out. Sure, it's not Marvel property. I mean, it's Marvel but it's usually Fox, not Disney property. But it was still a Marvel standpoint type of movie, and it was This is fresh because it's dark.
Yes.
You know, it's different. It's not funny. It had its funny moment. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me.
Yes.
But it was good.
Those moments were needed.
Yeah.
Right.
They were
now,
needed.
it's just like he said.
Let's laugh
you
for
said,
an
it's
hour and a
Guardians
half.
of the Galaxy.
It's like I don't know. It felt like, you know what? We're really just hyped up for Infinity War. Let's rush this.
You know what?
Yeah,
Let's,
no, it's what it is.
Right at the end.
let's throw some Planet Hawk because people's been complaining about it. Let's throw a dash of salt, unworthy Thor, and mix it all together. And what do you get?
And call it Ragnarok.
Exactly.
You know what I think about this particular film in general and in the direction so far? I think they turned the volume up on the humor to probably mask the fact that they're mismatching all these sources together. They figured if they make it entertaining and funny, they'll forgivable.
It'd be another BVS. That's exactly what it'd be. If they took away the humor, it'd be another BVS. Because they're matching 2 to 3 stories together into one. Like BVS.
They thought they'd make you laugh. They figured they let it go. And for the most part, it's working.
And you know what? And it worked for me because it was so darn funny.
And over the top funny.
Over the top.
Like laugh out loud funny.
And like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the Planet Hawk part because it was like, you know what, I was one of those people. I'll admit it. I was like, yo, I want a Planet Hawk movie. All right, whatever. You brought in Thor Ragnarok, which I feel like it didn't belong, but you know, beggars can't be choosers.
We just get what we get.
And you know, and like I said, the Unworthy Thor part is like something I didn't want to see in that movie. Like, I wanted that to wait after Infinity War.
Little Braveheart thing going on.
Yeah, you know, he had like a whole scar going on. I'm like, wait, where did you get these scars on your skull? And like, where do you get that from? What else?
And I like to hit the whole when you said about the whole not taking itself seriously. Even the death of Odin wasn't.
An afterthought.
Yeah,
an afterthought. It was like, okay, he dead now, I guess.
Thor was having PTSD.
I have a question for everyone here on the panel. So if I posted something on the Darkened page a couple hours ago. Okay, so which is the best MC movie of 2017? Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
Those are the only 3 ones that came out in Marvel?
Yeah.
That's tough. Because
they're all so similar.
Yeah.
So I'm Thor, like, I saw this somewhere and I'm like, huh.
Thor.
I'd have to go with Guardians.
Indistinguishable.
Guardians, because that was the only one that was different.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie that's meant to be funny and it actually didn't be funny. It was all about. I mean, they had obviously humor because it's a comedic style movie, but they had a very serious topic that stayed consistent throughout the movie.
Exactly.
Spider-Man Homecoming was if you look at the DVD cover, it's I Want to Be an Avenger. It's him and Tony Stark flying with the Avengers Tower behind him.
Yeah.
It's I Want to Be an Avenger movie.
It's right there. I'm looking at the picture. It's literally like that.
Yeah, and then you have Thor Ragnarok, which was a huge topic, but it ended up being
Slapstick.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.5.
So think about this: Spider-Man and Thor. They have a core that they're picking back on something else. Thor, like the whole Ragnarok thing, the whole Hawk, the World Hawk thing. That was the whole basis of it. That was it. It was like, okay, we'll use this as a piggyback when we can fill in the gaps. Done. Spider-Man and Iron Man. Whole thesis. Spider-Man wanting to be the Avenger. That's it. We made 1,000 Spider-Mans in the past. It's just gonna be cinch. Guardians of the Galaxy though.
Had a very
all they
unique
had
challenge.
to build was its predecessor, which is the previous one that was amazing.
No burden.
And you know, people sat down and were like, all right, let's do something original.
Right.
Something, let's think about this, let's write this out. And it delivered. You know, again, Spider-Man and Thor was just like, it did nothing for me.
Right.
It did absolutely nothing for me. Guardians, all right, now we're setting up for, you know, actual Infinity War.
Right.
Because they have the direct ties to Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
that's interesting.
And
So I know you guys gave Spider-Man a hard time, but go ahead, Mix. Go ahead.
No. I was saying, like, I enjoy, like I said, I enjoyed the whole showing off Thor's powers and stuff like that. And like they were just saying, oh, you know, their hammer wasn't even like your true power. You're stronger than Odin and stuff like that. That's just a medium to balance out your powers and stuff. I like that at one point, I guess. But the one part I really don't like is that, you know, it's too predictable.
But how did you feel in comparison to the 2 other films that came out this year?
I like the other 2 films
more than Thor.
Because they're both serious. They're
now let's see if you had to choose one
for the best of 2017 when it came to Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Thor Ragnarok. Who is coming on top?
Guardian.
Interesting.
Because the fact of the matter is they stuck with their material and they went exactly how it was.
Yeah, they don't have the burden.
They went funny, Then they went serious. Then they went funny. And then at the last moment, serious as crap. You knew what happened to Star-Lord's mother. You knew why that was. And you felt that. When you went down to Thor and Ragnarok, okay, Odin died and we're not shedding a tear.
Exactly. Yeah,
no emotional impact. That's what Thor was lacking.
No emotional impact. Like I'm saying, like, okay, so all father's dead. I should be crying because my man's.
I'm gonna drop it like this.
Like
this could have been
tragic.
another BVS with too gritty and emotional because of every key point character had emotional ties that they didn't explore. The banished daughter, which I still bother. She's a daughter.
That bothers me.
But the banished daughter. The All-Father died in Asgard, said nothing about it, even though Loki was pretending to be him all this time, so there was no backlash from the other Asgardians. Loki and Thor finally kind of coming together about, you know, like we should separate, but we keep bringing ourselves together. Like, you know, some actual brotherly love could have affected. I was expecting to see some blood brother stuff going on.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Considering that Thor was officially a prisoner, we should have had the taunting Loki, I could get you killed here and all that stuff, until the point where he realized, like, I care about my brother. Hence the buzzing on the neck of him about to be killed by Thor. I would have liked to see him actually step in the ring, stop Hulk, and then he becomes a prisoner. Now, okay, now we have to work together.
Or even allude to the fact that, like, hey Thor, you're a prisoner. Remember when I was prisoner in the second movie?
Yeah, but that's pretty much Blood Brothers. That's why I brought up Blood Brother, because that's what Blood Brother was all about. The millions of times. The thousands of times where Loki lost to Thor and he finally won.
Right.
And he just taunted to the point where, like, you know, I still care about my brother. I just wanted to win for once. And I want everyone to see it. I wanted an audience. I got the audience. Now I want to help my brother because he's still my brother at the end of the day. He's all I have.
Right.
Then you have Planet Hulk, where he left Earth to get away from all his burden. He didn't want to be a problem anymore. He didn't want to, you know, he's like, I'm a monster, so I'm going to go a place where monsters are welcome. They teetered on that when him and Thor were arguing in a room, but then they let it slide with the whole, like, fire joke and water joke. Then we had the Valkyrie, the last of literally an entire realm. Right. That's one of the 9 realms. Technically one of the 10 realms if you include heaven. So one of the 9 realms is the Valkyrie world, and it's like, oh, they're all dead. So last movie when there were 9 realms, and you mean there was just like an empty space? Like, is it truly the last of the Valkyrie, or
That's the last that we know of.
Last that we know. You feel me? It's like
a lot of Valkyries, right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's an entire world of it.
Okay.
It's an
realm.
world,
It's an entire realm.
I treated them like the way they described it is as if they were
just a military.
a battalion, so to speak.
They're literally the Amazonians.
Oh,
yeah, that's exactly what I saw. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought
okay. Now that I get it,
exactly
makes sense because they're all women and they're all like
that's like saying all of the Amazonians are gone. You're like, how, Sway?
Exactly.
No, but that's exactly what the Valkyries are. So I'm like, I don't like that. She's the last survivor, so she's drinking her life away. I'm okay with that. But then, like, you're collecting prisoners for, like,
that seems
why aren't you trying to? If you want your death to come because you don't know how to live, you should have been in a tournament.
Yeah, yep, there you go.
Right, be a maverick. You know what I mean?
And they played on her character where she was like the Planet Hulk girl who Hulk ends up getting with.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why it was weird, because she kind of had that love triangle thing where she was kind of getting attracted to Thor while she was still attracted to Hulk in some way as well. So I'm like, who is she supposed to be? Who is she replacing right now? Because by all means, Sif is supposed to be alive. Why should Sif be alive? Because Heimdall is her brother.
No.
Official lore, Heimdall.
I know how frustrated you were watching this film. You just had to laugh your life away because you were gonna sit here and start like, okay, they're not even trying. Like they're just working things around. This is a frustrating experience.
This whole movie was, despite the fact how big Ragnarok is, it was World War Hulk. I can say World Planet Hulk meets Unworthy Thor. And while it takes place while Ragnarok is a background noise.
Which is strange because that's
everything
the movie.
that happened that was relevant to Ragnarok is homage. You killed off the Warriors 3. Sif's missing.
You know, Thor's best friends.
It's like they built this world and they just threw it away, kind of.
You introduced Fenrir, but
why though?
Fenrir is supposed to be allied to Loki, and if Ragnarok is coming along, the end of, Odin's dead. He's been missing on Asgard, where even another creature knew it. Other realms should know that he's missing.
Right.
Why are the frost giants not invading?
Right. Also, like, wouldn't they even Asgardians? Wouldn't they have felt it, even though they was like Odin was part of it?
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
where's this coming from?
It's a lot. Like Ragnarok itself was such a background.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even been. It's like BVS.
Okay.
BVS with the title. It was the background.
It's just one fight, really, right?
So,
like I said,
interesting.
What? Okay.
I didn't even answer the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't answer the question. I gave it out. Out of all three, right? I'm gonna say this as someone, okay, not a big Spider-Man head or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I came in Spider-Man not really expecting much. It was entertaining. I listened to all of you guys' critiques, and they were completely valid. And I've heard people who were big Spider-Man fans also still liked it. Yeah. What I find these three movies, they all coming from the same flavor. They all kind of the same kind of like humor, because they're all coming out the Marvel factory. You know what I mean? What they're planning on doing. And they're churning these things out to be funny, some emotional impact, but overall lighthearted. Where, you know, I think Thor gets at the bottom of the list is because it was missing that emotional impact.
And this is the one movie that was the one movie this year that was supposed to have it.
This is the end.
This is the one that's supposed to have all the emotional impact.
So when I say Guardians of the Galaxy is a superior film to the three, it's not superior as a fandom. None of that
as
stuff.
In how a movie
is constructed and what their template has been so far is that they missed the mark a little bit. With Spider-Man has emotional moments. Don't get me wrong. It's a close second. It's a close second. But Guardians of the Galaxy has no burden of legacy that much. People didn't really know what Guardians of the Galaxy was before the film came out. Let's just keep it like it's not a real.
Keep it G. No one knew what it was.
I had no idea who these people were. I had no knowledge of it. They had, and that's a good place to be at when you're making this kind of movie. You can mess with things. You can mess with story. You can change arcs. You can change entire characters. And who's gonna know? Exactly. But you being knowledgeable about Thor. Problem. You being knowledgeable about Spider-Man, a problem. They chose the wrong characters.
Me being knowledgeable about Norse mythology,
problem. It's a problem. You can't take these characters that people have all these attachments with and get these inspirations and just muddle it up.
It was another Ghost in the Shell.
Exactly.
It was another Ghost in the Shell.
People are big fans of Thor.
But you can't take all of this and mash it together.
Pick what's good and what works from one source and just run with it. It's there. Just run with the source.
And the fact that we actually know of the source material is an add-on. But I think the biggest thing is what we kept saying
names.
Is the fact is putting too many ideas into one. Good. Yeah, sure. I'm okay with changing some lore.
Change some of the lore.
That's fine. It's understandable. But the fact that you're giving me 3 different ideas into one movie,
it's messy.
And in 2 hours, it's not gonna happen.
It's messy.
It's not gonna
messy
happen.
Situation.
And that's where it falls down.
And especially with a household name like Spider-Man, household names like Thor. You know what I mean? Characters have been around forever.
Yeah.
And have all these different lives that they've led throughout decades and decades.
In cinemas
why? Like, why do it?
How would you? I got a question. How would you have made a Ragnarok movie?
Based on your knowledge, my knowledge is secondary from yours. Like I'm like, I would have kept a serious tone and kept like I would have almost went down a Logan direction. Because think about what Wolverine was going through. The end of the X-Men, being the only one. How does that feel? Like that isolation. I wanted Thor to feel isolated. I want to feel helpless. He didn't break a sweat. And even though he knew Asgard was falling, Hela is just wrecking his home, and he's out here broing it out on a planet with Hulk. And I'm like, he should have been really. I don't hate saying brooding, but yeah, a little brooding. Don't be afraid to give him some angst, some fear element. I would have built it from that direction and let the funny stuff happen, but let us earn that funny moment.
Right.
Because when the Logan parts, when it was late and when they were sitting at the table and they're making jokes and stuff like that, you legitimately felt intimate. It felt like an intimate experience. Like this is a break between all of this stuff. But there was no break with humor. You didn't take the Ragnarok seriously. You didn't take the end of Asgard seriously. You didn't take the Valkyrie's background seriously. Hela had a terrible backstory, right? Horrible. Real. You were banished for no good reason, only because you it was really sad. She had a good reason. Odin used her when it was convenient. When they wanted to take over, she was like the attack dog.
But that is the story of.
She was technically
an attack dog. Lucifer. That's what it felt like.
The devil.
Yeah, she's a Lucifer.
She wanted to get better. She had more pride, and Odin being the god was like, nope, bye.
So now I'm gonna act.
He fed her for what she was. She needed souls. He gave her war.
Yep.
They had an even deal. When he finally got bored of fighting, she wanted more. He said no. She tried to fight back. He said no. That's literally the story.
And I'm like, well, Hela has like this kind of. I've always felt like Hela's like a little tragic, and I'm like, that's who she is. That's eventually who she is. It's war and death, and it was just like, okay. cool. I feel like
she was
she's misunderstood.
Yeah.
She was pretty much a Clegane.
Yeah.
I'll say this much is that I'll give it to Marvel for trying to please their fans and stuff like that, but
They're not comic fans.
but
they can't be.
I know what I'm saying. We're talking about
Yeah.
The typical moviegoers.
Yeah.
This is a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it to them because I'm not gonna say like this movie was terrible
It's
and
not.
everything like that. To me, as a comic reader, of course it's terrible to me, but I actually enjoyed it at the end of the day because
because it was funny. It was
you
entertaining.
understand some of the source material. You know you're gonna nitpick. Of course, it's a Marvel movie. And on top of that, it's like everybody wanted their own separate movies and stuff, but they just wanted to rush this thing so badly so they can get to Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is that they do not rush Black Panther, because I swear.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I swear. I don't know.
From what I've gathered, I don't think so.
I know that, but
Yeah.
you know what it is? What's telling me that is since they're rushing all these movies, these legitimate good movies that should have been good, but
they're probably getting hero fatigue themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
They're tired themselves.
They're
Probably.
going. I feel like it's gonna be
The
rushed.
actors' contracts are
It
running
feels
up.
Like Game of
probably.
Thrones, like, that's why they killed off like the Warriors 3.
Exactly.
They're hitting big heads because what?
They're peaking.
Which that is my biggest problem
That's
in
fair.
that movie too. When they killed the three warriors, Thor's biggest and better best friends who he fought side by side. He didn't even know they were dead.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
You did mention
He
that.
never mentioned. They didn't even mention that.
They
Because
glossed
they
over.
ignored the fact that she collects souls.
Souls.
Interesting.
Hela's
Do you-
entire story is souls. Her whole reason for being an enemy to Thor is because she wants his soul.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
She
that-
wants his soul. It is literally Hades
Exactly.
wanting Hercules' soul. It is the exact same story.
Exactly. Do you understand the type of impact that would have hit Thor? You wanted to see Thor go OP godlike instead of having like stress memories of his father's death. Those three friends be showing up undead, trying to kill him. Would have
Oh, that
bought
would have been hardcore.
God mode
Okay.
instant.
Now,
That would have been very hardcore.
first of all,
they addressed those
to
deaths.
answer your question,
Yes, that's what I need to hear.
Go ahead.
I'll make it a two-part. It's
Okay.
a two-part
I would've done
story,
the same
a
thing,
two-part
bro.
movie.
That too.
Right, two-part movie.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's fair.
Yeah, I would make it into two-part movie. I'd make I would make Odin die at the end of part one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else? I would go into, of course, the whole Valkyrie story. It's about the sentimental.
Even start off with that.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt, right?
Yeah.
How can there's no, when Thor's mom died, we saw how Loki was.
Yeah, he lost his
And
shit.
he lost his shit, right? Pardon the language. But when Odin died, he was more important for Thor. All we saw from Thor was lightning. This is your fault, Loki. That was it.
Yeah.
Nothing else afterwards.
No grief,
And you know what? I even was expecting something out of Loki. Why? Because that was when Odin acknowledged Loki. He said, "I'm proud of you guys, my
Both
sons.
sons,
I
yeah.
love you both." And it hurt. It hurt Loki.
Yeah.
It touched him.
And the thing is, like, he put him on a spell and took it. It's funny because he let him keep Asgard.
Right. Odin, he's alpha. All he can do whatever he wants. He can come in, get out of here. But he knew this was supposed to happen. Okay, make it into two-part. Make Odin die at the end of the first part. Right. Make the Hela arc main second.
Yep.
Yeah, have Hela in the first part, but it's her. I'll have her at the back skirts in the back burner, but just trying to get her kingdom. Make her rule to the first part, but the first part will be mainly about the Valkyrie, her connotation, her rising up with Thor, the whole Loki thing, and then towards the end is like, all right, at the end, Odin dies, we're here in Asgard, war starts in the last part. Something momentous, if you will. That's how I would do it. Yeah, of course. Let's backtrack a little bit on the humor. Sure, please.
Let's
Let's get a little more gritty.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. Yeah, talk about the friends that he's been with what, like the 3 movies straight.
It's his childhood.
Right. There you go.
Exactly.
And get Doctor Strange involved. He can feel this stuff
At
too.
one point, yeah.
I'm sure he could. So I mean, I don't know. It's
So
you
had similar ideas to me, except Hela has to be full frontal because she is a manipulator. Hence why she resurrects herself as Loki's daughter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the things that we'll have those bits and pieces there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. In the first, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think that there's so many things in this movie that we can't cover in one whole part. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, this
so
is how, it's still two-parter, but all right, how I would do it. Obviously, we already seen him go into an early Odin sleep. We never see him do a proper Odin sleep.
No.
Yeah.
Loki's ruling, we could have easily had him befall a real Odin sleep, while Loki's actually doing what we saw. Oh, he's acting and he's fooling around while the enemies are preparing, like Thor said.
With that being said, how do you feel like in the first part having Loki being the being the antagonist? Why? The reason why I said is because it got me by surprise when how the last Thor movie ended, how he was in the throne and he was impersonating his father. I thought the next Thor movie was we're going back to the basics. Oh, Loki is the main antagonist. Hopefully now we can show more of Loki was Loki's more working with. And then at the beginning of this movie, he's like, I'm here, stop it, Loki.
This is the thing.
Give it up.
You gotta let me get to it though. While he's ruling as an Asgardian, as he said, the other realms are preparing for war because Loki's ruling. During this time, Loki is trying to get actual rulership over the Frost Giants, which he's also wanted. Hence lackey son. Because remember, the Valkyrie called him lackey.
Yeah.
Instead of calling him Laufey son, they used to call him lackey son. They made a joke on it. They could have made a little more on that where he's ruling as Loki, trying to get homage with the Frost Giants, and they're building up their reps so they can invade Asgard as their, and they're going to take control. Okay, we now have the main realm, the kingdom realm. Yeah. We want this because that's what Ragnarok is, the invasion of all the other realms. Then the other realms are seeing this. Wait a minute, Frost Giants are moving in on Asgard. We can knock them off. Let's go in there and take it. Let them the sentries who are now moving into Asgard, and there's all the inner conflict within realm. Thor's off on other planets getting slapped around. Right. There's going to be a civil war in Asgard because we have Loki with his Frost Giants trying to give them a deal with the throne, a place in the realm, while his own people are now trying to overthrow him. During this inner conflict is where we can actually see the first Ragnarok come about, where Balder, the Gate Guardian, is killed in the war. With Balder dying and the Odin sleep now active, Ragnarok is officially upon us. With all these deaths happening and now Loki having actual connection to the giants again, he can officially have his children, which are Sleipnir, Fenrir, and Jormungandr. Now we can throw Fenrir in a movie for a reason. Instead of just throwing him in there just to pay homage to the Norse mythology, we can have a reason for Fenrir.
Now with something like that, it'll probably something with two-part will be more than that.
Not necessarily. You can bits and pieces because this is technically 2 years human minds that this happened, but in other realms.
We can throw in this world it makes
exactly. That's why he can have, because it's Loki magician stuff. So he wanted to create his own family that rules over the thrones. That way, no one else can take claim to it. Time goes differently in this universe. That's why that's why he can have his kids that way. Okay, I'm ruling. Here are my kids. Now these deaths are happening. And while Loki has his private scenes where we see for once he's being an actual dictator, like how they tickled with in Avengers, we see him truly in the throne room. He's sipping on his wine and he's just looking at battle strategies with other lieutenants that he's got from the Frost Giants and other deals that he made with trolls and even a few dark elves he can have in the throne room as his counsel. And then he hears whispers. Throughout the entire movie, he keeps hearing whispers of a woman. And anytime we hear these whispers, we just see an aura of green and eyes, and it's the same voice, and that's Hela manipulating Loki to go to war with other realms now. She's collecting these souls. Now that this war has been broken out and all 9 realms have been weakened, Hela moves in and we get into a real Ragnarok where almost Thor is pretty much a background in his own movie. Exactly. In his own movie, he's a background character, and his focus is more on Loki because, let's be honest, the fans of Thor like Tom Hiddleston more than they like anything else. So we give Loki the forerunner since he ended the last movie. He would lead this movie, while Thor's off, where it's almost like a taste of Unworthy Thor, where he's literally lost on another planet.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And he can't even get back home, and there's this war going on, and by the time Thor gets back, we're at the gates, we're at the death of Balder, Warriors 3 are frontlining, he fights side by side of them. At this time, Sif could be on a planet with the Valkyrie planning to defend them, so they're going to be the second fleet, because obviously movie part 2 is where they're going to matter. This will explain Sif's story, where she's getting reinforcements because she knows what's going on. She's friends with the Warriors 3. That's why she's not present. Thor gets in there, he's defending, he gets wrecked. They kind of lick their wounds, and now that all these people are died, they think they prevented the Ragnarok, and then Hela finally debuts, and she takes Loki's soul literally with a touch of her hand, as she always says she can do. She takes his soul officially, claims whatever power and authority he has. Now we have to take Asgard back. from a whole new entity who now has everyone we killed, we have to re-kill.
Right. Oh, this is way better. Yo.
But that takes so much money.
That takes a lot of money.
Yo.
Yeah, they were like, we kind of want to
But
wrap
the
this
easy
up.
thing is you're literally just recycling the same people.
Well,
Right.
that's
Pretty
what I
much.
look
Part
at.
2, you're still using the same actors. You're not filling in anybody. All you do is just give them some.
So you would
White
do a
Walker
two-parter
makeup.
as well.
Yes, it has to be. Ragnarok is like the thickest
big,
thing.
it's
Yeah,
big,
too
it's
big. for
It
one
pays for almost how serious it
Right.
is.
So
because this is involving all the realms.
Yeah.
right. They only talked about the realms.
Would you include Beta Ray Bill though?
Beta Ray Bill kind of
He
only
shows up.
He shows up, but the only reason is because he's just another. He's literally just a second
Support.
Thor.
So there's no
He's a
point.
second Thor.
Yeah.
And since he hasn't been introduced in the movies yet,
It's
it
too
wouldn't make any
soon.
sense.
But-
Yeah, people would
Remember,
not know.
he got his hammer because Odin's like, all right, you can wield Mjolnir too. You're part of the last of your race. Let me make you a Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Now you guys are brothers in arms.
It's a lot of
Throwing
Thors.
him in now would be like, where are you coming
There's
from?
Be
there's a
left field.
because she doesn't know as much, but there's a Thor corp basically.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah, that I
Yeah.
know in like in Secret
So
Wars and
remember
stuff like
when I
that,
showed
and
you
yeah.
Planet Hawk like way back then a couple months,
Yes.
and you were wondering who that horse face guy was?
Yeah,
That's Beta Ray Bill.
That's Beta Ray
I know.
Bill.
I know who that is. I
But
watched
no,
the
I'm
movie.
saying I'm talking about like you just in case
Yeah.
like because I told you before like there's a Thor corp or whatever. Basically their own
Yeah.
Lantern corp, I guess. if you
Yeah,
wanna
they
call that.
even showed them in Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
When the world is ruled by Doom, the police force is a bunch of Thors.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? I'm just looking up Hela on just googling her real quick.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is the Marvel MCU's first villainess. Marvel, and I had to like really look. They're saying it, and I'm
That's
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is she the first? Like that's.
I mean,
crazy.
Marvel doesn't really make many female villains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
Like,
really
You'll
thought.
see a bunch of anti-hero villains, but you won't see straight up villains. But then at the same time, Hela's not really a villain either. She's about her business. I collect souls.
That's my
How do you get souls?
job.
You kill people.
But Marvel
She's a
always,
god. Gods are never
Yeah.
villains.
you know
yeah.
what
Exactly,
it is? Like Marvel deals with the good and the evil, and there always has to be a bad guy who's completely bad.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
that's why I didn't like her story in this one.
Yeah.
But that's
And
why
she
they
was
got
com-
Netflix.
Yeah.
true.
All right, guys. So, all right, we hit the mark.
We never said anything good about it, though. We never said it. Despite the fact that we
Unfortunately-
liked the movie, we had to hit on all the easy things that they messed
Yeah.
up on. But yes.
Yeah.
How many Mjolnirs?
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to my gut.
How many?
I knew everybody said the same thing. It was above average movie because it still was entertaining in the day. Knowing the source material drags it down tremendously. Then
Yeah.
trying to squeeze so many ideas together kills it so much. It was like, it's just so much missed opportunity where the hope they touched it, but they could have finished it. So it gets a 7.
Yeah. Yep.
It gets a 7 only because like
Of course.
this would have been a perfect
I
like
agree
10 out
with
of
it.
10 with all the ideas
7
that they had. They could have left out some of them and used just the core ones.
Yeah.
Hela is a big one. Ragnarok, a big one. Building Loki's character.
Big one.
That's all you needed. You didn't need a lost Valkyrie. You didn't need Planet Hulk.
No, Ragnarok is big enough, right?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Because, I mean, yeah, Hulk went missing, but like, the whole reason he ends in another planet is because Doctor Strange sends him away. You even pay homage to that by starting the movie off with Doctor Strange. It's
Right.
like, come on, we know what you're saying and you're not saying it. It's like,
Yeah.
come on now. It's like,
That's a whole separate movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It's another
So, yeah,
strange
it
movie.
gets a 7
Strange Part
because
2.
it gives us a 7 because we just it stroked us and it's like, nah, I'm just.
Honey
it-
potting. Honey
So yeah,
potting.
I gave it 7 Mjolnirs.
Interesting.
7 Mjolnirs.
Yeah.
I think I would give it 8 Mjolnirs. And it doesn't get a 9. It doesn't get a 9 because I thought the humor,
It was too much.
and looking at it in retrospect, I got a couple laughs in the theater and stuff like that, but I forgot what I was watching for a second. I really forgot. I'm like, yo, this is supposed to be some end of times type stuff.
Very.
End
And
of the universe. Is
Yeah,
like
end of the
end
existence as we know
everything,
it, and I
yeah.
just didn't feel the danger at all.
Yeah, somehow the Dark Elves were doing whatever.
Right.
I felt the danger wasn't there. I thought this was entirely if it was Thor, Thor and Hulk bro it out movie. If that was the title of the movie, I'd be like, we're cool, okay, great. But it's Thor Ragnarok, and I had to look it up. I'm like, well, this is the end. Why am I should be crying right now. I should be like, oh no, everybody's gonna die. This is bad. Oh no, what are you gonna do? I'm like, oh, they'll be fine. That's all. They're gonna be fine. Like they're just not serious at all. So that's why it can't be a 9 because it didn't have a solid direction. And like even if somebody doesn't even really even mess with Thor like that, I felt like
You were
Yeah, I
lost.
felt a little lost. I was like, what is this movie supposed to be about? Like, I didn't know where they were coming
Funny
from at all.
jokes.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a comedy? Because if it is, you get a 10 for comedy. But this is supposed to be End of Times. So you get
Oh,
yeah.
What did Loki say to the Hulk after he slammed him to the ground? I'm Thor. Funny joke.
Funny joke time. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take it for what it is. And honestly, it would have gotten lower if Hela wasn't as good. It would have gotten lower. If Hela was not that one, it would have gotten lower. I would have probably came down to 7 or 6.
Josu.
I gave.
And 8 is still good, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
And 8 means I enjoyed it.
That's
Yeah.
more than what BVS got.
The horse, we love the cake. Like, we just love to beat
Yeah, it's
I wish
real.
we had like a replay button.
The horse named Martha we like to kick. But anyway,
Ugh.
What do we name this episode?
I think we did.
Martha's Ragnarok? Is that what we call this episode?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
My.
just asking.
I gave it a 6.5, but because of the funniness, I gave it a 7.
Yeah, that's what carried the movie. It's still entertaining.
Yeah, and you are absolutely correct. It's an end of times, end of universe, end of cosmos movie. Honestly, I think this is the last Thor movie. This is the third part.
Yeah.
Any other Thor stuff is going to be mentioned in other movies.
Yeah.
That was it. And for
the
Thor,
closing,
for Thor being the last Thor movie,
It
a
should've
God
been serious.
movie, it should have been a lot more serious, a lot more bigger than life. It should have been a DC movie. Okay, that's what it should have been because everything
Needed Zack
DC,
Snyder.
everything DC is bigger than life itself, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
This wasn't, you know. But yeah, here we're gonna get, you know, like Deadpool, who is gonna seem a little more, you know, bigger than life because of he's in cancer. I feel sorry for him. We're gonna have Captain America is gonna be more than bigger than life when it's at the end of the day it's still one continent on our damn planet, you know. So yeah, 7. That's it for Thor. No more Thor movies unless we see Avengers again or Infinity War.
Infinity Wars, you're definitely going to mention it.
Yeah, so 7. You know, good movie, guys. Go watch it. Awesome.
If you know about
amazing
Thor,
laughs.
you're probably
It's
going to be
definitely
tight.
a good movie. Whenever you're like feeling down, it's a movie
Right.
to put on.
It
It's
picks up.
definitely something to watch again when you just need something.
Definitely a movie to watch for for your kids. That you want a background also for your little
yes.
kids.
Of
Put
It
that
was,
on.
it was definitely worth the money just for a thick Norse mythology fan.
You're going to be mad.
Maximum disrespect.
Just know that the first and second part are so much more serious than
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
For me, I give it like a 7.5.
Yeah.
A 7.5 for the fact is like they got hella down right. I love that.
Barely.
No, I'm talking about like I'm talking about look wise,
Personality, I loved it.
villain wise, but the whole relations to Odin not needed.
Yeah, not needed.
Not
at
needed
all.
because that feels very weird.
Yes,
Um,
it does. Considering that she tries to have Thor's son in the books.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But there's that. The reason why I say 7.5 is because they're mishing too much stories into it, and like I said, Unworthy Thor was not needed to be in this movie because the fact is, it's a whole other Thor, a whole other universe. It's a lot more beyond that point. By the way, Nick Fury dies. Anyways, other than that, it's just like I see what they were trying to do, but it ain't so.
They missed the mark.
They missed the mark, and I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I did laugh. Tia seeing me, I laughed. I enjoyed some of the materials they had.
Yeah.
It's just too much, too little movie. You missed the mark. This was a big title, and you bit too much you can handle.
but for a Marvel movie, it did what it came out to
It
do.
did exactly what it needed to do.
It did what it
Entertain.
wanted to do. It's to
Yeah.
keep us
Chuckling.
there, keep us
Yeah,
chuckling.
keep you watching.
Do you
You
like
don't
this
want to
cake,
people
don't
watching.
you? Do you
Yeah.
like this cake?
Jeff
All right,
Goldblum.
so across. All right.
Can you talk
JonTron said it. YouTuber JonTron, he said it. You want to make a good movie, Jeff Goldblum. So
Jeff Goldblum's
he was a
being
great
himself.
character.
He was just
Yeah.
being
He was a
himself.
great character,
He
and he
was
had
great.
nothing to do with the story really. Like he didn't
Seriously.
matter. The Supreme Ruler Master and all that, he didn't matter. He didn't matter at all, and he still made it good. I still love the guy. But yeah, we're at the end of the mark. Let's close it out.
I was
before
expecting the
get salty.
Jurassic Park to come in out of nowhere, you know?
Yo,
It's like
Jurassic
dinosaur.
Park though.
But anyway, all right,
wrap
guys.
this
Must go
bad
faster.
boy
Must go
up.
faster. Must go faster.
All right, well,
You know what? They should have put. He should have been on his escape ship and them shooting at him. Him just saying "must go faster." I would have.
Oh, yeah.
This would have got a solid 10. The movie got a solid 10. Go ahead.
so there's the 5th, right?
It's my birthday.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgotten.
I wasn't gonna say that, and
Yeah.
it wasn't the reason why. All I'm saying is that in 12 days, Justice League comes out.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Word,
Oh,
right? No,
I was
yeah.
looking at a cooler DC movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a
Justice League 2?
I was thinking of a cooler. I was thinking of a cooler, cooler DC movie, which is V for Vendetta. Oh my God, I almost lost it because people forget that Vertigo.
DC Vertigo, same thing.
Yeah.
But it's coming out soon. About what, 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks. And it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I can't wait for seeing this.
This cosplay Flash outfit.
Cosplay CGI clash.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be great.
Let's hope it doesn't flop.
Oh, it's probably going to.
Oh, it's not going to.
It's going to make money, but
this movie has been given so much hype.
It better be amazing at this point.
It's going to get bank. Doesn't make it good.
Have you ever noticed?
Exactly.
Like I remember I said, like McDonald's sell a billion burgers that don't make them.
Make it good. Yeah.
If you haven't,
that don't make it gourmet.
Right.
Exactly. That don't make it gourmet.
And quite frankly, right now, if it's good but doesn't make money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But if
absolutely
it makes money but it's not good, it matters because they have enough money to make the other one.
Yep.
So it doesn't even matter.
They're gonna make it. They're
So,
good. They're gonna get the viewers. It's gonna be no matter. It'll be an entertaining movie. It's not gonna
groundbreak.
No.
It's not the Justice League movie we want. It's the Justice League movie we deserve.
That's true. That's absolutely correct.
On
that note, guys. All right. Shout outs to the
Fortress of Solitude, 53 University Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. Check them out. Comics, collectibles, toys, all that type of stuff.
All right.
Shout out to Villainy Games and Speak Your Mind Radio. Oh, villain, my villain. Shout out to the OTR podcast. Shout out to the Real Shit Talkers. We say Ish Talkers, but they're called the Shit Talkers. Whatever.
It's a title.
That's their name.
It is what it is.
We're all adults here. All right.
Any shout outs on your side?
Shout out to Joker Style.
Oh,
yes.
right.
On Fairlawn.
All right, Fairlawn, New Jersey, guys.
Go.
All right, guys. Well, please keep on reading comics. Please keep on watching TV. Well, movies, more specifically. Good films. And until next time, you'll see us here next week. Same place, same people, same saltiness, all across the board.
Hate.
Yes, and as the sun set in this mortal world.
As usual, guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment on what you liked about this episode, what you want to hear us talk about in another episode. I'm Aesop the Alchemist.
Tia LaBeouf.
Joshua X. Snowheart.
Count Drogo.
And we'll get back to you guys later. Cheers.
Peace.